But there's no reason to think that Lamar is not the same anymore.
Well, there is. What do you mean?
I think he's pretty much the same.
He's the same. Come on.
Let's be clear.
Who's he been throwing
From
to?
his MVP year, he's also not running the ball the same, and he's been getting hurt more. You don't see the highlights like you've seen from Lamar Jackson his first 2 years. They're gone.
Okay. All right, I'll clean it up.
You already said it. So
Swashbuckler, a degrading sexual act that offers a variety of lovers of the dirty Sanchez. This act consists of the male entering the treasure chest of his partner, screaming "Arg!"
This train is off the rail.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Guys on Sports. Another week in the books.
Multiple camera angles.
Live studio audience.
Act like you've been there before, boys.
We do have a live studio audience.
So what's going on, guys?
We made it. I feel like we made it. Honestly, it just feels real now.
But multiple camera angles.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like a movie.
Let's make Phil's job hard and just point at them constantly.
Hey, by the way, Mark, how's that diet going, huh?
It's going good, actually.
Really?
Down 12 lbs, buddy.
Where'd you lose it, on your head?
Maybe a little bit.
Well, Phil's down 18, right?
19.
19.
19.
Good job.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah. You jealous?
Yeah, where'd you lose that? Height?
Oof.
I don't want to say.
Mark's spunky because we have a live studio audience today.
He's always spunky.
I'm always spunky.
Mark's going to play to the audience.
All right, so Zach, what do you got? You got some comments for us or comment?
Yep. So TikTok takes. If you see our clips online, either through YouTube, through Instagram, TikTok, whatever you see.
I hope we got one for Mark from last week.
I hope so. And don't do that.
That's a different show.
Don't clip
right?
my wings.
Different show.
Don't
Yeah,
clip my
go
wings.
watch Guys on Draft. But this comment is actually from YouTube Reels, which I'm excited to see comments on YouTube. So please continue to comment on YouTube. We love to see those there. This is a clip about, I don't know who, I think it was Mark actually, surprise enough, about Adam Thielen, about he's got the double whammy going for him. He's old and he's white.
Yeah.
And then this person,
Both very true.
the username, I think the username is why I shout this
Tiny
out.
cleat fits.
The username is white person, and then they just said old and white. Some synergy there. So I thought it was funny. So shout out to white person on YouTube.
Yeah. But somebody else called Mark criminal on Instagram.
Really?
Why?
For that
what?
comment?
Yeah, they did. They said it was criminal, and I said, "Well, Mark is probably a criminal." It has
I think we all agreed with the old and white.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you laugh too, Rocky.
Well, I laugh at a lot of what Mark said.
Your crimes probably have like actual weight to them. Mark's just doing petty theft.
And Rocky always tries to. He's like throwing the rock.
It's
and
like
then
embezzlement.
disappear into the bushes.
Mark's still a bazooka at a 7-Eleven. I probably killed somebody.
Don't. It's the mafia.
You heard it here. You heard it here.
Look into the camera. You gotta play to the cameras now. You know that, right?
You got to turn each one.
You gotta when you want to make a point. You gotta.
Don't look at that one though. That one's not yours.
The next step, I think, is somebody holding cue cards
That's
for
your
us.
that's
and
your
telling us
camera?
where
Yeah.
to look. I think that's the next
So I
step.
can't look at that at all
No, you're not in frame at all.
Yeah. Why would you look at that one?
because I want to. I can't look where I want to look in America.
All right. Why don't you put some bass in your voice, Rocky?
Hey, what are we doing today?
There you go.
That was the actual question.
So what we are doing is we're going to talk some NFC South fantasy outlooks here. We're what is this? The 5th episode in this series. We've done the AFC. We've done both East.
Yep.
And both Norths.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to do the Souths.
2 Norts.
2 Norths.
Two Norths make a right.
So the Souths, 2 Utes. Yeah. So the South is boring, huh? I mean, they a lot to be excited about.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
I mean, I think you're pretty excited about the team you got. You're a swashbuckler.
Haha.
Swashbucklers?
No.
Swashbuckler.
I picked the Bucks because I wanted them, not because they were the last team available. Thank you very much.
Can you tell us what a swashbuckler is, Mark?
I sure as shit can.
Hey,
Give me
wait.
one quick
Listen, I
second.
need you to dress it up a little bit. Don't just read it. I want you recollection. Just
Can you maybe do an accent when you read it?
Oh, I'm fucking 100%. Are you kidding? You were getting that regardless.
okay.
Can
While
you
we wait
talk
on
like
that,
a pirate?
A swashbuckler.
while we wait on that, let's let
It's a degrading sexual act that offers a variety of lovers of the dirty Sanchez. This act consists of The male sodomizing his partner.
Oh no!
Oh gosh.
Screaming,
See, I
"Arg."
said clean it up.
Yeah.
Oh.
He did say.
We're gonna get demonetized.
For sodomizing?
Yeah.
You can get
Don't say it again.
demonetized for
Don't say it again.
No, I think we're without.
I think we're ready.
We've already been running for a few minutes. I think we're good. We're good.
Is it more than 5 minutes?
We're about to find out.
All right, I'll clean it up.
You already said it. So just-
Swashbuckler, a degrading sexual act that offers a variety of lovers of the dirty Sanchez. This act consists of the male entering the treasure chest of his partner, screaming "Arg!"
This train
Like
is off the rail.
like a pirate, and proceeding to
Is there a sound effect you can use?
smear the treasure on thy forehead of thy,
Oh my gosh,
of
this
thy
is
lover.
terrifying.
All right. Anyway,
Yeah.
Swashbuckler.
Hey, you know what? I'm sorry for that. I
How
let
do we-
us into that valley.
You
and-
did, yeah. How do you get it to stop? Is there a pause button on this?
So
guy?
sorry. Tell us about the Atlanta Falcons, Rocky. I think you're
Please,
right.
for the love of God.
I don't know where to go with this, but
Dirty Birds.
you thought that you had the Falcons.
Did.
Yeah, you called me a liar. Kind of.
I didn't say call.
Well,
see?
you question my memory.
feel sorry for your wife.
No, you question
That
my
how you
memory.
conduct yourself. That's pretty.
You question my memory. I actually have a good wife story, but that's for later. Anyways.
For late. How much later?
Join our Patreon for the bonus content.
Yeah. Anyway, so what do we think about the Falcons? Honestly, I would feel a lot better. I'm going to bring up the Falcons later in the show for another part in our pressing issues.
If we get there.
Yeah.
If we get there. But I do think that there's a lot to like about Tyler Algier, even though I do think that they'll be, and you brought this point, so I'm going to let you share that because you did do a lot of research.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So why don't you share your thought on? I'm gonna give this to you.
What was
Phil.
my thought? Why don't you preface it and
about
then I'll
usage?
Yeah.
About usage of.
I thought he had. Yeah. I think you have a counterpoint to it, but
Yeah.
I do think his usage will be less. Although based on what you said, there's an argument to say that it'll be higher. I just think they're going to throw the ball more this year. They were 27th. I said 27th in the league in pace per play last year. They were really trying to protect a really terrible defense.
It's an advanced stat.
And Marcus Mariota was just not good. Tossed for under 200 yards per game. And I think, their coach is on the hot seat, and I don't think they're going to be pounding the rock. They got Pitts. They got London, who both flashed. I do think Ritter will be better with the whole offseason as the starter. I mean, getting the first team reps, and I think they have a chance to kind of be more balanced. So I think his stock takes a little bit of a hit. I think Patterson's not going to be as effective, so I think that's going to affect him as well.
Yeah, and so here's why I like Algier, and I do think he could be overdrafted.
Yeah.
And I think that was your
Big
point,
time.
but
Yes.
very quietly amassed 1,000 yards. And here's advanced stats. He had the highest adjusted yards above replacement. He was the highest rated rookie, top graded rookie running back of all running backs, last year.
Wow.
And I think he's going to maintain that role and probably gain more of a role this year. So while I agree that he'll probably be overdrafted, I think he's going to take a higher percent of snaps from Patterson.
Yeah.
So, and I think he's going to play fully in all 17 games unless there's an injury.
Well, yeah.
So I think, he could easily surpass 1,400 yards. And I think
Easily?
That's steep, I think.
no, I mean, because he did 1,000 yards, and most of it was in the final 11 games. Like when you look at his stats, it was really mostly in the last 12 games.
Yeah.
So I think getting mixed in from the very beginning and getting mixed into the passing game more, because I do think they are going to pass more.
Yeah.
I like him, even though I think he might get overdrafted. If there's a run on running backs and he's there, I think you might have to overdraft and take him.
I think there's another guy on this team. I'm going to let you go, but that might be a better value than him, and that's Kyle Pitts.
I would
Yes.
agree there.
Yeah.
Pitts
Yeah.
is sliding down draft boards right now. As far as Algier is concerned, right now he's going early in the 6th round, which is a decent
not bad.
value
Yeah.
for where you're getting him.
That's lower than I thought it would be.
But that's assuming that he is going to repeat that production, right? So this offense was abysmal last year. I think you're right. I think they are going to open it up a little bit more, but I consciously too. I mean, it's not just going to be game flow. Like, they're going to put an emphasis on throwing the ball. Pitts to this point has been basically a bust for the past 2 seasons. And I think because of that, they are going to force feed him. And I think that Drake London with another year under his belt, I think London, you know, he played very, very well last year as a rookie. And I think this year, I think, you know, he's obviously going to take that second year leap. And I think they really are going to put an emphasis on throwing the ball, which is why I think we will see Algier, because I think we're going to see Algier with a decent amount of receptions or at least targets out of the backfield. But this offense lives and dies with whoever it puts under center.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know if I have confidence in either one of those guys.
Here's what I like agree 100% about Pitts making a resurgence. He had a 1,000-yard receiving year at age 21. Kelsey didn't have one until he was 27. Ertz till he was 28. Goddard's never had a 1,000-yard receiver.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
Name any
Never.
Browns or Giants or
Never.
Bears
Ozzie
tight
Newsome.
end.
What?
No, of
1,000-yard Jeremy Shockey.
Okay.
Sorry, boys.
Maybe
Gotta call.
Navarro.
Jeremy Shockey, Bavaro. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a
Bro,
question though for Kyle Pitts. So give the ADP. Where would you draft Kyle Pitts? Is he your third tight end that you take? Is he like the sixth? I think if there's every tight end available, Pitts is probably 6 or 7 on my board. I'm kind of staying away from him.
Oh, no.
I think it depends who's quarterback.
I'm willing. I think if you have Desmond Ridder, you clip this. I would wait on tight end till after the 10th round, and I take Pitts.
You think he's available?
I'm making my tight. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, You don't think so?
He's been going a little bit earlier than that. But you're also looking at people they're reaching for him to try to get him before he is an ultimate value. Round 10 is obviously an ultimate value, right? Yeah. So you're going to have to reach for him a little bit ahead of that if you do want to definitely secure him on the team. But that's also under the pretense that you think that he is going to.
Well, I think I would draft him as my starting tight end this year.
Yeah, and I would too. But I would probably draft the backup tight end a little bit earlier than I normally would. And I'd probably try to come back and get like a Cole Kmet.
I'm taking Freiermuth over Pitts.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that at all.
Is that what you've been dying to say over there?
Well, no, I just
he said it last
I've had
week.
Pitts in my dynasty leagues. I've had Pitts in redraft leagues, and he finishes at like the top 20th tight end. There's just it's too hit or miss with him.
I get it. There's nothing like a woman scorned, but the thing you're not seeing here is that he played with a decaying Matt Ryan and Marcus Mariota, who hadn't started since 2019.
I don't think Ritter is going to be
Desmond
He's
Ridder
going to be
this
better
year.
than both of those guys. He had as many, maybe not as many, but he looked pretty close to. No, I'm not stepping on that ledge. But I'm just saying, I've seen things with him that he looked more competent than Mariota as a passer last year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he had a 63% completion rate. He's a third-round rookie coming out. So, like, he did pretty well. I mean, I think he did everything you could do coming out as a third-round pick. And I think there's hope for more.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think that he'll end up being their quarterback all year.
Yeah.
I think they could draft,
for me.
Honestly, a quarterback in the draft still, too.
Well, back to what I was saying before, I just think that they're going to lean on him in London more than they did last year.
Yeah.
They ran. I seen something where Mariota had the most throws out of play action plays last year. I think like 8 of his 15 touchdowns were off play action. It's a marker for how much they were running the ball, and I think that's going to change because I think they have to. They can't play the keep away game that they played last year. Got them to 5-6, and then the second half of the season they fell apart.
Yep.
I think he has to kind of play for his job and use those weapons. And I think Pitts is going to turn into a safety blanket, and there's no reason why he shouldn't outperform as much as you like Pat Freiermuth. I mean, Kyle Pitts.
Well, there's a dependency.
Is a unicorn. We're talking about talent.
Of course, yeah, and that's been the bell everyone's been beating for like 3 years now. It just. Well, not to get on a Freiermuth tangent, but like Pickett and Freiermuth had a good chemistry last year, and that only gets better in year 2.
Yeah.
But with Pitts, and it's probably just a gut feeling, and it's a little bit of recency bias because I've had him in 2 of my 3 leagues last year. I would rather take. Kelsey. I would not take Andrews over him. I would take Freiermuth, Goddard, Waller. Hawkinson. There's like 7 to 6 tight ends I'm taking before Pitts.
Yeah, I don't see it. There's like 3 guys I would take. Maybe
Pitts isn't a name anymore, in my opinion. Like it's not.
I think you're out way too early on him. I mean, if you look at the quarterback play, And it's only going into his third year. I don't know how you could be out on him and in on Freiermuth. I mean, if I'm going to pick Freiermuth as a tight end, I'd rather just stream tight ends all year.
Well, because if you're going to
Freiermuth's a streaming
I
tight
think you're
end.
too low on.
I think he's
Freiermuth.
too high on him. So
yeah,
we
no. I mean,
balance
I
it
get
out.
that. So
the
there's somewhere in
consistency
middle.
on Freiermuth is more important to me than Pitts because your tight ends are
I could
averaging. If
stream
it's
a tight end
if
for
it's not
consistent.
Kelsey, you're averaging 7 points a game for a tight end. That is on the field and that is getting targeted, which Pitts did not do all last year.
Yeah, but I mean, Pitts looked
fair, but-
rough, but Atlanta looked rough last year.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I just think
they had stuff that worked on offense. I mean, to be the number, I think either 1 or 2 rushing
Yeah,
team all
but-
year, and then to not really have any productive.
But
He doesn't run the ball.
But as Phil
What
was
I'm saying,
they
is
were-
that opens up passing lanes, and London and Pitts
he
didn't
doesn't-
do well.
no, but what
Well, they flashed
They
at
were
the end of the year.
inconsistent. They were inconsistent.
The quarterback play was inconsistent.
yeah, well, and what Phil was saying before
It was
the
mediocre,
show
and that's what
started,
it'll be this year too. I think.
I don't think it's going to be Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, they were
You're right.
protecting. They were protecting against Mariota. They were a very slow running offense.
And their defense is terrible. Now, to be fair,
Yeah.
it's going to be terrible this year, too. 2
Well-
years in a row, they finished the lowest pressure rate in the league.
Yeah.
So they have not been good. Casey had
Well, and
Hayward
they've been quiet in the
After 6
honestly,
weeks, he
they've
was
been
on.
pretty quiet in free agency. Like
They
they've
have a lot
signed
of
a little
money,
bit,
too. They have
but
a-
they haven't really signed as many as you would think.
No.
With as much, almost like they're holding that money for something.
Yeah, like what? Lamar Jackson?
Preluding there.
Something.
Okay, so Drake
bet-
London. Where are you drafting Drake London? If you're drafting Drake London,
I like London. I like London coming out of the draft. He was hurt the previous, or he was hurt for much of the his last season in college.
Sound it out.
And he still led college football in touchdown rate
Yep.
during the time that he played. He's a great big body receiver. He's not the fastest, but he's a great route runner.
I like that.
I think he's the real deal, and I think he performed last year. I think he's going to get better.
That's where you drafted him.
Yeah, that was the question.
He would be.
damn, Mark got you back on track there.
He would be in my top, honestly, like my top 12 receivers.
Wow,
Oh, wow.
Really?
that's a
I'm-
big jump for.
I'm pretty high on Drake London.
Yeah, obviously. You're really
Especially,
high on Drake London.
especially if they do something at quarterback.
All right, good to know.
Would you? I don't even know if I would draft him as my wide receiver too.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
why
know.
I would.
More for Rocky.
I'm only doing London in dual flex leagues.
All right, well,
Fish and chips.
Atlanta.
Yeah,
Fish and chips.
Atlanta.
So why don't we go to the swashbucklers?
We're just gonna jump right to the
Yes.
Bucks.
Let's go
Mark,
right
why
to
don't
the
you
Bucks.
read what? No, sorry, don't.
All right, so I'll look into my camera and talk about the Bucks. There's
Okay.
nothing exciting happening with the Buccaneers this year. Expect
Trask?
a
How
5.
dare you.
Kyle
Dude,
Trask isn't
Baker
starting.
Mayfield.
Who's
How
starting?
dare you.
Baker Mayfield is starting.
Oh, yeah, I forgot they got Baker.
Yeah, so
How can I forget?
not to go on a tangent about like what the Bucks are doing in real life, but in fantasy, you should stay away from every Tampa player besides I like Rashad White
Mike
in the late
Evans.
rounds. Well, Mike Evans is a given, obviously. Chris Godwin, you got to look at injury history there, but those guys we don't need to talk about because
Yeah,
they'll be
that's
drafted
fair.
in 3 through 5 probably. But Rashad White, I can see being the value pick in late rounds.
What about Chase Edmonds?
What about Chase Edmonds?
Number one fan here. Do you
No.
any feelings on him?
I think it's gonna be the Rashad White show, and if you wait
Yeah.
on him, you're going to miss him. Rashad White is a very niche pick right now. He's going very high in drafts.
Really, no kidding.
He-
What's his ADP?
Yeah, he's being taken around. Let me just look right here. Round 5.
Oh wow,
So
that's pretty
round-
early.
Round
And
4 to 5, because he's shown that he's a capable receiver, right? So anytime that you have those dual threat running backs in a very weak offense, they're going to get their carries. And if Rashad White can stay on the field, he also boasted a ridiculous yards per carry or yards per attempt last year, I do believe. And I think that's the reason why he is coming off the board pretty high.
Yeah. And Baker will be dink and dunk. It'll be like a
Yeah.
terrible Tom Brady, and
Yeah, but
he'll
he
get
almost,
his PPR points.
But for whatever reason, he doesn't. Well, I mean, he did in Carolina some with CMC, but he wasn't known to hit his running backs.
No, he
Yeah.
pushes the ball down the field.
Yeah, he does
He's
push
not
the
really
ball
a dink and dunker.
Yeah, which is kinda crazy.
But what did Tampa really do last year? Like, I think he's going into it. He's on a prove-it deal. His, fourth team in 2.5 years.
yeah.
He'll be doing what they kind of tell him to. And, of course, he'll be
Well, I hope
tossing
so.
it to Mike Evans a few times. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
game plan will be,
But their line is
There.
like
So buy low
not
on
the
Godwin
greatest.
is what I'm hearing.
yeah, I would buy low on Godwin.
I don't know. Godwin's still going to get his targets.
That's what I'm saying.
They still get.
I just said buy low. Yeah.
They still get his. They still get him the ball around the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So I think Godwin is still going to.
Yeah.
Out of the receivers, I think Godwin probably fares the best.
Yeah. The only player that's getting my attention is Rashad White in that offense.
I just think that you look at Tampa Bay and they're definitely an upgrade over what Baker had with Cleveland. Definitely an upgrade over what Baker had in Carolina.
It's kind of funny to think that the Bucs are his best team so far, as far as personnel.
But it's quite possibly his worst offensive line.
Yeah.
And that's where he struggles.
It's leaky.
Yeah, and so when you look at when he's played behind a weak offensive line, the week 16 with the Browns, Pittsburgh sacked him 9 times. When he played behind a weak line in Carolina, he got sacked constantly. I don't think he's going to be able to throw downfield to Godwin and Evans. It's not Godwin and Evans. It's going to be Baker Mayfield. And I think because of that, I think he'll get replaced kind of mid-season.
And let's not forget either that Baker couldn't believe that the Giants drafted Danny Dimes to be their franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
He did say the stuff he said.
He did say that, yeah.
All right, so since we're talking about wideouts, I'll talk about some new wideouts in a new place, and that's Mr. Adam Thielen and DJ Chark headed to the Carolina Panthers. And I got to say,
A couple young whippersnappers there.
as enticing as those guys are, it does worry me for Terrence Marshall, who I actually had some hope for. Just the fact that they went out and, I could understand the Shark pickup, although the guy missed a lot of time last year. He was productive when he was on the field, and he's been productive when he's been on the field outside of the last season in Jacksonville. But Thielen, why go out and get Thielen?
Thielen thinks they can win a Super Bowl. That's why he went there.
He went there because they gave him a bag of money and his wife likes to spend.
Yeah, he's got his earning power is decreasing. But I just don't understand why they did it, and it worries me. And obviously, they're going to take a quarterback here. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how much they're going to struggle.
Matt Corral. Let
No.
me just say
No,
that again.
just
Matt
stop it.
Corral.
You don't
Hey, can I
trade the
finish
number
my
one.
point? Like everybody else, got to run their mouth, right?
No.
Jesus.
Ooh, I have.
finish
You
your
got
point.
your hard to get onto Matt Corral right now?
Matt Corral.
And Desmond Ritter.
Shit. What was I saying?
I don't
No
know.
one-
We
They're
They're
weren't
going to take
listening.
a quarter. Well, basically, I was saying there's a lot of uncertainty. I think the one sure thing is that they went out and got what they think is going to be a bell cow running back. If he can stay healthy, I would invest in Miles Sanders reasonably because the injury history, but they plan to use him. And I think in a similar way, not to the same extent as Mr. McCaffrey, who left last year. That's what I have to say. As far as the wide receiver corps go, like I said, I was excited for Terrence Marshall, but a little bit of, trepidation now with the add-ons in the wide receiver room.
Yeah.
Maybe if you could get your hand on Chark late as a fifth receiver like he was for me on my team last year, where you could plug and play. Maybe he stays healthy, and I think he'll be productive. That's a long shot. Besides that, I don't know where to go with them.
Yeah, Miles Sanders I like as an RB3 if you can get him, but he's probably going as an RB2 now. You would say, right?
No, he's still going around RB3.
Oh, give me that all day.
That's great.
Then.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yep. Especially in a league with a flex.
Yeah, and Dante Foreman did really well and won a lot of early rounds in fantasy playoffs last year. So if Foreman can do that behind a line that's going to be healthier this year, you have Miles Sanders who just was a Pro Bowler with 1,000+ rushing all day every day. I think.
Would you roster Foreman if he wasn't a handcuff or if you weren't?
He's on the Texans now, I think. Or no, he's
Oh, so
on.
what is
No,
he
he's
on?
Chicago.
He signed with Chicago. That's what it was.
I'm stupid.
So
Because
Chuba
he
Hubbard.
also said that he wants to win a championship.
Yeah, okay.
Well, everybody wants to win a championship.
No, but he
people
said the
always
most
say
obvious
that.
place was Chicago.
Except for Lamar.
Except for Cleveland.
Who wants
Cleveland
the
never
money.
says anything about
So
championship.
Chuba Hubbard, you mean?
Chuba,
Instead?
yeah, but no.
Nah.
Yeah,
Chuba.
listen, I'm watching
Chuba.
hockey right now, man. I'm sorry.
So what do you, so who do they draft as their QB?
Bryce Young, probably, right?
I don't know.
I thought CJ Stroud was the odds right now.
But it
I think you got to go Bryce Young.
I mean,
sorry to hurt.
so-
Vegas is never wrong.
supposedly
they
several of the coaches told Stroud, "Hey,
Incoming.
we're going to play horse when you come to Carolina."
Oh wow,
Yeah, 'cause that was caught on
that
tape.
could be a smokescreen, though,
Could
Rocky.
be. Yeah.
I mean, but why would they need to throw a smoke screen?
shameless OSU plug once again?
Yeah. Listen, I hope they draft
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
Yeah.
So
I don't want him to go
NOLA.com,
there.
98% implied that they're going to draft a quarterback, 71.4% chance that it's Stroud.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I want Stroud to go somewhere else.
Why?
I don't like Carolina.
Where would you want him to go?
He'd be going to Texas if it wasn't for Carolina.
You don't
No,
like
I
Carolina,
don't
like the
think he's
team, or
going
like
The
Texans.
state.
the states?
No,
was right, Carolina.
I don't mind the states. I don't like the team. Yeah,
Why?
You
Just
don't.
no reason?
Just
Just don't.
wow, that's
Just-
that's statist.
Just
Wow.
don't.
That is crazy.
You're a real
You're
prick guy.
canceled.
There's literally no reason. Was it a player?
No, I just you can like and not like teams.
Usually have a reason, though.
Yeah, I
like
don't
the
like 'em.
jersey you don't like or
They
a
offend me.
coach. They offend you.
They're offensive.
Is it
What?
they offend you?
Breaking news:
that's
old
it.
white man gets offended by NFL team for no reason.
So yeah, is
no
there?
reason.
What do you guys? How do you guys feel about Thielen? Like, would you
No,
I mean, I
stash
think
him?
he's going down, but I still think he's going to
he's
get.
going down, taking him out.
No, I mean, I think he is in decline.
I think he gets hurt. To be honest with you,
He's 32. He should be in decline.
32 and a half.
Yeah, but listen, there are receivers that are 32 that are still.
He's 32
you know,
and a half. Okay.
Yeah,
That's old.
Yeah.
I mean, we know how you feel. You
And
said he's
that's
old and
that-
he's white.
That's
Well, he
really
is-
old for a wide
For
receiver.
a wide receiver, yeah, it's like.
I mean,
ancient.
he's not Steve Largent for crying out loud. I mean, it's Adam Thielen,
Dude, is he Wayne Corbett?
Listen,
right? Is he Wes Welker? Who are we talking here? Are we
Is he
talking
Julian
Eric?
Edelman?
Are we talking Eric Decker? What are we doing? Don Beebe? Come on.
Edelman's coming back.
That's a good one. Steve Tasker?
Edelman's coming back along with Cam.
All right, so let's get to those Saints, huh? Royce Duplessis. Shout out.
Royce
Shout out.
Duplessis. He promised to have the streets fixed, the smell of shit out of the streets, and to
And I think
bring
he's-
in a quarterback.
I think he's delivering.
He
I think
did.
he's delivered on all fronts.
Bourbon Street.
Yeah. Yes, so Royce did his, he did his city, the good old city of New Orleans a favor by bringing in that quarterback.
not really.
I think no, you're out of your mind. Derek Carr is the best they've ever had.
Or you drafted
All right.
Well,
Derek
that's
Carr.
just stupid, right?
Oh, that's right. They had Drew Brees. I forgot about that guy.
Archie Manning was also better.
Yeah.
Archie Manning, captain of the Aints.
Yeah.
That's going back. That's going back a little ways. The Saints offense this year, I think there's a lot to be excited about. Seriously.
Jinx.
Jinx, you owe me cook. They bring in Carr, right? You still have
Stupid face.
That was a weird way to say jinx there. That was offsetting.
you never heard that?
No, just the way Mark said it. Sorry,
How'd he say it?
I'm not going to repeat it.
Just do it once.
Not that one.
Jinx, like that.
Yeah, there it is. For the live studio audience, we just had voice effects over our voice. That was probably really lame for them right
Yeah.
there, but funny
It's
for
all
us.
probably
Yeah.
really
The
lame.
way to explain that one, Professor. I'm
Yeah.
sure they enjoyed it much more.
You
with
made
your,
it way cooler.
with your breakdown.
Yeah, well,
lot cooler.
it's there.
Thanks.
It's there, and you'll cut that one, right?
Yeah. All right.
All right, back.
Don't talk about
back
Royce anymore,
To
just-
Derek Carr.
Okay.
Derek
All
Carr's
right?
not draftable.
Derek Carr leading this offense. You still got crab legs behind him. This offense is going to be, I think, with the addition of Carr and the way Carr likes to get the ball down the field.
Yeah.
I think Olave is going to have a big season here.
I love Olave.
I love Olave this year.
Yep.
The fact that Mike Thomas took a huge pay cut to stay in town when he promised he was walking says something about what he thinks that he might be able to,
Steal from a franchise again.
get back with Derek Carr.
And
well,
if
I mean,
we know
he's not
something
stealing
about
much
Mike
this year.
Thomas, he's smart.
Yeah, real super smart.
Yeah.
And then, I think honestly, their premier addition was Jamal Williams.
Yeah,
I
I do like the
love
addition.
bringing Jamal Williams to town. Right, so this is a team that probably needs a little shot of pep. Right, so you bring in Mr. Cheerleader from last year's Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
This guy, and he's a baller, man.
Yeah.
You bring him in. Alvin Kamara is looking to finally face, legal obligations here,
Yes.
and probably sitting out a good portion of the year. Plus, let's face facts. Kamara didn't look himself last year, right?
Yeah.
It could have been quarterback play. He could also benefit from Derek Carr. We know Josh Jacobs tore it up last year under Derek Carr. So, I mean, sky could be the limit for Kamara if
I don't know if
he was his normal form.
But
But
I say he was under Derek Carr.
no.
You don't say a running back's under a quarterback.
I mean, he could be.
Well, he's
2023.
That's a different conversation, but I don't know.
No,
Just-
but-
I'm not tributing Josh Jacobs' success to Derek Carr.
No, well, I mean, it had a lot to do with the offense. It had a lot. Well, Devontae Adams. It had a lot with Carr being able to open up the field to give Josh Jacobs those running lanes. And if you give those same running lanes to Jamal Williams, you're going to get this. You're going to get similar production.
Yeah.
Because Jamal Williams
Maybe.
isn't just a goal line guy. Jamal Williams has got some burst, and Jamal Williams can catch a ball. And I think that if Alvin sits out a huge portion of this season, you're looking at possibly stealing a top talent running back later in a draft that him as your RB3 is going to produce like fringe RB1, RB2.
You're burying the lead here, though. He has dreads,
Yes.
and that's like Kamara,
Yeah.
so they can, trick people a little bit.
Explain.
Is that Kamara?
Let's unpack this.
Is that Kamara? Is that Williams? Subbing guys
Maybe the
in and
jersey
out.
number that would be different.
Just wear number 40. Dreads. He's running one off. You think it's a different package. Oh, is that Kamara? Is that Williams?
I get worried with Jamal Williams, just the fact that he had so many touchdowns last year. I feel like he might be overdrafted just a little bit. If Alvin Kamara plays, I don't think really Jamal Williams is startable, to be honest with you.
I agree with you.
But I don't think is
Kamara
the
doesn't
Saints
play-
the team you hate because you hate Carr. Now you hate Jamal Williams.
No,
Like,
no,
Oh,
I
that's
don't-
why you didn't come to New Orleans.
yeah,
you
I
piece of
that's it. That's it.
I don't hate Derek
that
Carr.
was not why.
I just think
No, that's not.
I just think
It
that
was
this
us.
wasn't the right situation for Derek Carr to go into. But I mean, hey, you go where the money goes. Apparently, I just think if Kamara plays, you're hopefully looking for touchdowns from Jamal Williams. But I mean, they have Taysom Hill there still. Like that guy's a gadget guy that harps on a few touchdowns.
That's true.
Yeah, but
I
he's
just-
I mean,
That's a
he's
good
getting up
point.
there, right?
That's the best point you made today.
I have a few of those.
So who's the most valuable guy in this offense? See, to me, it's Olave.
Oh,
It's
big
Olave.
time,
It's
yeah.
hands down
Yeah.
Olave.
I take Olave over I take Olave over London. I
Yes.
think Olave
No,
Olave could finish as a top 15 receiver
So
with
then
Eric
you
Carr.
agree? So where would you have Olave? Because you have
I-
London top 12.
I think there's an argument to be made that
Top 10?
Olave was better than Garrett Wilson, even though Garrett Wilson
No,
won,
Olave was.
won
He-
rookie
he
of the year.
was.
The,
Yeah.
the way that Olave got targeted, the way he caught the ball and didn't drop it, the way that he didn't really stay.
Well,
He
neither
didn't
Garrett
get
or
hurt either besides a
Olave
concussion.
dropped the ball. Like they were both pretty good
Yeah.
receivers as far as that. But I agree.
Olave played with Andy Dalton.
Yeah, and he
Wilson played
stretches the
with-
field
Dude,
more.
Garrett
than
Wilson
Garrett
played
Wilson.
with Zach Wilson.
Yeah, no, I caught myself in the
Fair,
sentence.
and
Alright.
Flacco, who's
Yeah.
dead.
No,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
But
Both
Tate-
receivers will do great.
Taysom Hill is 32.
Yeah.
And if we're going by the Adam Thielen,
different skill set.
Way
Yeah.
different
he's
skill
old
set.
and he's white.
Different skill set.
No, he also.
Yeah, but he's also like part quarterback.
Yeah.
If he does like a 23
He's a rumbler, man. He's a rumbler
and
tumbler.
if you look at him, he's got swag too.
He's got swag.
Yeah,
I don't feel it
He's
doesn't
got,
hurt.
he's got, he's
He
got
definitely he grew up playing b-ball in the streets.
hella swag.
Thielen grew up playing badminton in his neighbor's backyard. For crying out loud. Two completely different people.
Thielen.
Come on, he's a nice guy.
Olave as a wide receiver 3 is like the golden like
Oh,
goose
that's
egg.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you're not getting him as a wide receiver
Hard to
3
get a
unless
golden
you're
goose
going
egg.
wide
No,
receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, because he is going rounds 2 to 3 right now.
I just think this is the year that these
too high.
the
Everybody's
rookie
on Olave.
receivers from last year start to assert their dominance.
Wow.
So like I think Olave, Wilson, Drake, like I think they're all going to start really separating.
Traylon Burks.
Traylon Burks like bad. Gosh,
No, he looked hurt, and then when he played, he had like I think
Had
he
asthma. The guy
He doesn't like the Titans either.
he played 3 or 4 full games.
He doesn't like that blue.
Who, me?
No, him.
Oh, I would
I
say
like
I
the
have
Titans.
Burks on your dynasty league, and he did well when he started and played. He averaged like 12 to 14 points a game. Like he was getting the ball.
George Pickens.
You want
Jahan Dotson.
Donovan?
There's gonna be a
You
lot
want
of
Donovan Peoples-Jones? That's it.
DPJ's not a rookie.
DPJ over Traylon Burks.
Where you got DPJ ranked? I got
I mean,
him
Is
unquestionably
on pure-
number 1.
On pure fantasy numbers, you have to go that.
No, you don't.
Like you can say on forecast,
No.
you think Burks is going to be better. Yeah,
No, I think he's going to be better.
yeah.
He's better.
No, you can say it on forecast, but on actual
Well, he was
fantasy
hurt,
stats,
though.
He was hurt. I had asthma.
No, he was hurt. He was hurt.
Dude, he had
Let's
like
do not. Come on.
he got like hit in the brain like 4 or 5 times, and then he had like a leg injury too. Didn't he have like turf toe?
Rocky-
Well, Brian,
Rocky
Brian
hates
got
people.
shot,
What,
and he
who?
freaking ran the ball.
Well, we're not talking about Brian.
Why are you calling him Brian?
Because we're friends. We're Facebook.
Brian makes it sound like not like hard. Like Robinson got shot and then played the same season, but Brian got hit.
You can call him Mr. Robinson. Brian and I are
I
friends.
didn't
Rocky
say
doesn't
mister.
respect head injuries, so let's get that out there.
Yeah,
Obviously.
probably got a few himself.
Piece of garbage.
The ladder fall he never recovered from.
That's fair. That's fair.
The world famous ladder fall. All right, are we done with the The Aints.
Yeah.
He probably
think
should
so.
be. Yeah.
Yeah, so don't draft Derek Carr.
Well,
No,
draft
you
Olave.
could draft.
No
Derek
one's
Carr.
drafting Thomas. What do you guys think?
No.
Oh, I'd take a late flyer on
Yeah,
him.
I'm taking a flyer on him for
Yeah.
sure.
30,
Why not?
If it's
30
like
but
the
he's
12th
only
round, sure.
30,
Well,
but he's
that's
only
what he's
played like
asking.
3 seasons.
Zach,
Huh?
He said he's 30, but he's only played like 3 seasons.
who's 30? Mike Thomas is 30.
Yeah.
That crazy?
Man,
But he only played like 3 seasons. Like
getting old.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, he is 30. Holy shit.
Yeah.
But he's not Adam Thielen.
He's not white. He's old and black. Different.
He's Deshaun.
DeAndre Hopkins is also 30.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Also okay.
Yeah. He's slow though. He's always been slow-ish.
He's, yeah.
He's never been a burner.
DeAndre, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's got hands of
What
glue.
is that? What are you doing?
That's
You wanna
the,
make
on the
noise?
table.
that's the next segment.
All right, let's get. Yeah, well, you guys keep talking.
Pressing issues.
All right, so
What's the issue? If there's issues, we're gonna press them.
For our studio audience,
I was waiting for
that
that.
interlude was because we were playing music.
you guys got that? All right, so we're talking about Lamar Jackson. I mean, it's the only real story going on in the NFL right now. If you come to us for your NFL news, and we're your sole source,
Spud bomb. The spud
feel
bomb.
bad for
Lamar
I feel
Jackson
bad for you.
yesterday on his Twitter said, let everybody know that he requested a trade from the Ravens on March 2nd, I think it was,
Correct.
because they're unwilling to meet his value. Yada yada yada. It was worded really bad.
It was worded
somebody
really
to prove. He
badly.
needs somebody to proofread.
He did.
this
He
stuff.
needs a PR
Sounds like he needs an
person.
agent.
I mean, just maybe just a friend.
Hey, can we have Mark read that tweet? Mark,
Pull
will
it
you
up.
read
Yeah.
that tweet?
We'll talk. Pull up the Lamar Jackson tweet, please.
I will not read that one.
But I do think we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
It is like you're
interesting.
watching
Okay, there we go.
Fridays.
We were wondering why nobody had made an offer
Yeah.
for Lamar, right? And we talked about he wants guaranteed money, all that jazz. But, I think there's more to it, and I think it does have to do with his style of play and the injury. I mean, he missed 7 games last year. That's not a little. And 2 first-round picks is a lot.
Well, and he missed games the year before, too.
Only 3, I think. But
Yeah, but it was at the very end of the
Yeah.
season. Probably cost them from going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a legitimate question, and it's not to make fun of Danny Dimes.
Did he just
Oh,
call you
okay.
Little Jim?
No.
I think he tried to say legitimate.
Yeah, legitimate.
He said, let me ask you a question, Little Jim.
It almost came out.
He's hungry.
Little Jim would be. Could that be a nickname? Would you accept that?
No, I'm a man. I don't let you call me Little Jim.
Jim Man.
A legitimate question. In a world where Danny in a world, you threw me off. Where Danny gets $40 million,
Yeah.
not guaranteed, but $40 million a year. Don't you think that Lamar, like for what he's done,
Yeah.
don't you think he deserves $40 million a year?
Yeah, the market.
Are you asking me or him?
The
Okay.
panel, you guys.
Okay, you started. Go.
The market says yes. Yeah, he's owed that money, but it's guaranteed money. That is the question, I thought.
Yeah, and I'm not talking that he's guaranteed, but I'm saying
Well, that's
no
what he
one's even
wants.
offered him.
Yeah.
Well, because he wants the guarantee.
He wants it guaranteed.
We don't also really know, too, because, like, wouldn't the information that's being released be from Lamar? Like, these teams that are offering him wouldn't say, like, yeah, we tried. They probably would release that after the draft if they don't get their quarterback.
Let me answer you. So nobody's offering him anything because he's under contract still with the tag.
Yeah.
The thing is, for anybody to engage to even want to have him on their team, the prerequisite is they have to give up 2 first-round picks from the door.
Yeah.
And then negotiate with him.
Too
So
much.
if they were willing to enter into, let's say the Ravens gave the Falcons permission to talk to Jackson, and they talk to him, he's going to want guaranteed money. I think that's the big separator.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to, there's not even a point of me talking about Jones because it's a totally different thing. Do I think he's worthy of making $40 million a year? Yeah. If it's not all guaranteed, yeah. But the truth is that he's missed a lot of time.
Yes.
And if he didn't miss all those games, like there's stuff going out around, there's like that he may have just sat out those games because of
Right.
the situation.
Right.
That also doesn't bode well for a guy that I want to give $240 million to and lead my franchise.
Yeah.
And if he's going to continue to be a runner, like I talked about a couple weeks ago, I don't think he's a winning from the pocket kind of quarterback.
No, and he did degrade as a thrower after his MVP year.
Yes, it went downhill.
And
some of that has to do with Bill Roman. I think that's his name.
Some,
leaving.
some, but and wide receivers
Greg Roman.
haven't
Right.
wanted to play with him. Hollywood Brown, who's one of his best friends, said, "Get me out."
Is that true?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, he said that in the
allegedly.
media. No,
Yeah.
I thought he's.
Did he? Yeah, I mean,
Did
he
say
asked
that
to
the-
leave.
Yeah.
So, like, they either don't like the style of offense Baltimore's calling, but that's a direct reflection on the type that they feel like they have to call with Lamar as a QB.
They had a choice to make when they drafted him. They drafted him knowing that they were going to
Center
do what
everything,
they did.
yeah.
And they curtailed the offense to be a complex running scheme.
Right.
His MVP year, they were able to get the downfield passing game going, but
Right.
by and large, it's been a primarily running team off of play action
And then Mark Andrews.
him freestyling and making things happen.
Yeah.
But we've seen that happen with Russell Wilson, who at times in his career looked like a magician. Once those wheels start to break down, it's just not, you don't get the same level of play. So coming off the heels of Russell Wilson bringing Denver trading all they did for Russell Wilson and giving him that contract and seeing how poorly it went, how could you, in the right mind, turn around and guarantee this guy all that money?
Well, I think because Lamar's younger, I think he does still have like tread on the tires.
Maybe. He missed 7 games last year, though.
I do think part of that was because of him, like trying to show the world like this is what Baltimore is without me,
Yeah.
which
Which
it
they
is correct
went
with
to the
what you're.
playoffs.
Yeah, but they got to the playoffs because Lamar won games for them in the beginning of the year, and Hundley kind of did what he was supposed to do to a degree, and then lost to the Bengals.
Yeah, he lost, but he didn't look bad against the Bengals.
I think I said this last week. I think Lamar Jackson, if
Wins,
everything was the
yes,
exact same,
yes.
which wouldn't be, but if Lamar Jackson was playing that game and it played how it played,
They
they would have
probably
won.
win,
Yeah. The news that happened about him requesting for a trade really does nothing more than just confirm that Lamar Jackson really doesn't want to play for Baltimore.
Yeah.
and he may sit out.
As far as like, does this change the noise for teams acquiring Lamar? Probably not.
Yeah, but who do we think would? Like, who is desperate enough?
Are you saying who do you think would, or who do we think should?
Who do we think would?
I think would, because should, I mean, we can name a bunch, but
Well, Atlanta should, but
I'd-
Commanders would.
I'd argue
in my
against it
opinion.
because of what we just said about giving up the 2 picks and guaranteeing the money. So,
Yeah.
but who do we think potentially would be
Commanders.
desperate enough to give that up?
I tell you who.
They said they said at the meetings yesterday that the second time he said they're not interested in Lamar Jackson.
I'm sure, but
I tell you who should, and I haven't. Well, because like I don't know. No one is saying they would.
Yeah, I know.
So like, okay, we're
Okay,
left
so
with
who
nobody.
should? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I
No.
mean, like, because nobody's. I'm shocked by that because to me, if I'm the Jets, and I got Rodgers for a couple years, maybe.
Yeah,
Why don't I take somebody who I think I might get a decade?
I'll tell you why. You
I
want to
don't-
know why?
Yeah.
All right, 2 reasons. Rodgers is 2 classes above Lamar Jackson as a quarterback. Number
sure.
1. Number 2, the Jets
For a
roster,
year, maybe 2.
Probably 2. They're probably trying to get him to play for 2, but their roster's ready to win now. And they went and got his old offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
They went and got his pieces that he wanted. They're so far down the tunnel with Rodgers. I mean,
Yeah.
saying that they should trade for Lamar Jackson, I understand what you're saying, but all those defensive players that they love, that they're going to have to give money to next year, and the year after that for Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson, who'll be looking at their extensions coming up.
yeah.
You're going to commit that money to Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
With Rodgers, you could take him for 2 years, and you could either, some are
the
saying
run.
have Wilson sit in back of him and learn. I don't think that's going to happen. But you try to make the run and win now and compete in that AFC. I mean, what are you doing? I don't think Lamar Jackson couldn't do it with Baltimore. Why do you think he's going to do it in New York in a division with better quarterback? I don't know.
Well,
Okay, so
here's
then-
the thing. Here's who should and who could, and ultimately I may end up pulling the trigger because they're also built to win now. You've already got Josh Allen in that division. You're looking at the Jets, who are built to win now, bringing in Aaron Rodgers. Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miami should definitely bring Lamar Jackson in because they're set up. They have speedy wide receivers. Lamar can push the ball down the field.
That are paid already.
And they have questionable running backs, just like they've always had in Baltimore, which means that they're capable of running the ball when they're called upon, but that will allow Lamar to play Lamar's game. And that defense isn't terrible. And I mean, you're looking at a team that needs to stay relevant in that division if they want this current roster makeup to have any kind of success.
I think the only pushback I'd have is, and we probably had to cross-check this with the other teams were saying, but what's their cap look like? They just went out, like you said, and got Tyreek Hill. They're going to have to pay Waddle in a year.
They also picked up to his option too. So like I don't know how much of a it takes these backsies we'll do and get Lamar.
I don't know if they can fit it in the cap. I was going to say Tampa Bay. Would it shock me if they traded one of those wideouts? Gave up the 2 picks.
The Bucs should rebuild. They shouldn't be in the market for Lamar.
So this is who I think should.
I thought you said okay.
Houston did a great job in free agency. They've got 2 number 1 picks this year, the 1 and the 12.
Fast track.
Yeah, they fast track. So they give the 1 up. This is only contingent on if they don't absolutely love any of the QBs coming out this year. And I'm going to be honest with you, what we just discussed, Stroud, is it Young? I don't know. I do not know which one is better.
Yeah.
So if you don't absolutely love a quarterback, why don't you trade the 1? You still have a 12, so you're going to pick either Jackson, Najigba, or one of the other receivers.
Which they would have to do.
They'd have to do.
They'd have to give up 2. They have to give up 2 ones no matter
So
what.
they have another 2 number 1s next year because they have Cleveland's next year.
Oh shit!
So
Houston
to me,
might be in the
and
running.
they have the cap space for it still.
Won't happen.
He would
His
have to
neck's
want to
not
go
long
there
enough.
too. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, they do have a lot of long necks there.
They do.
They do.
But to me, this is a team that should, unless they're absolutely for sure 100% that Stroud or Young is the quarterback.
But I think they have to know that he wants to play there too.
Yeah, I just don't know why he wouldn't want to play.
I can see
He's
Lamar
a
playing in
Southern,
Houston.
Southern guy, played at a Southern college from Miami. Like, there's
see
a
that.
lot of connecting points.
D'Amico Ryans is a good head coach. They have
He
a good
is.
running back. I
Yeah.
mean, draft a receiver.
Houston's a fun city.
Defense
It's a big city.
Isn't bad
big
with
city.
D'Amico and the free
Fast
agents.
track. I was saying fast track the field, not them fast tracked in their rebuild.
Well, I think fast track the field, you're right, but also fast track in the rebuild. Because I love their receiving core. I think Nico really looked good last year.
is strong.
No. Nico looked great
Yeah,
last
I
year.
like
I think
Nico.
he's coming
He
on. I
did
think that they've
great.
signed a couple good players.
They signed Robert Woods.
Well, I don't love Robert Woods.
So who do you
I don't love Robert Woods. I'm actually blanking on who else that they brought in this year.
This is a strong.
Well, they
case
have
again.
They have John Mechie, who didn't
John
he get
Mechie's
leukemia
coming back,
or something?
but he is coming back this year, and
And
I
then
did
Nico
like
Collins.
him last year.
And they got Rex Burkhead. Let's not overlook
Yeah,
that.
that's not. And he's also old.
Dude,
and
the
white.
receiving core kind of sucks, Rocky.
They brought in Dalton Schultz. Is who you're trying to think of. That's
that-
the big.
yeah.
That's
Schultz,
the big.
I like that, and I think
The
at
hammer.
12, they're either getting Jackson Smith, Najigba, or they're
Nailed
getting
it.
Quentin,
Yeah.
who I think is another really tall body, fast receiver.
That receiving, okay,
But
them drafting
that's
receiver
all,
and
folks.
them having Dalton Schultz makes sense, but Nico Collins is a question mark. Was not great last year. Was
He
pretty
showed a
mediocre
lot of
at best.
He
promise.
showed
He
flash,
promise.
but he showed as much flash as all. No, maybe not as much, but he showed flash. I don't know if I love him.
Nico
though.
Collins should have made a bigger jump last year, and I don't think he did.
Well, bad quarterback play hurts too.
That's fair, but Brandon Cooks out of Houston maybe helps him. I'm trying to make a case. He'll be better, but
I
how
don't know
better?
if I love.
Yeah.
I think love is strong.
I really like Nico.
Love is
I mean,
love.
I do. I like Nico. I don't love Robert Woods. You're correct. I do like Dalton Schultz. I do think he's one of the best
Schultz.
tight ends in the league. I do.
Let him breathe, man.
You really use that love term pretty loosely.
I also think they have a decent.
I love that.
I love love.
I like their line. I won't say love. I like their line. I think it's a strong offensive line.
That's right.
I don't think they're terrible on defense.
All right, so Lamar to Houston, I actually like. It's a good call.
It's refreshing. It's a refreshing
yeah, it's
take.
a refreshing take.
Well,
Thank
they've
you for
got the
refreshing
picks
take.
and they've got the cap.
Yeah.
They got the goods,
Yep.
as we call it in the biz.
Now it's a lot to give up the number 1. If they could give up the number 12,
no, I think they have to
100%.
give up 2 in successive years. I think is how it works.
yeah, but I'm saying
Oh.
like if they were able to give up the
kind of better, actually.
112 this year and a first next year, 100% would do it.
Okay.
100% would do
That'd
it.
be tough, but I think they have to give up the 1 to get that
Well,
done.
boring take. He is he's imprisoned by Baltimore and plays under the tag. It's my
I think
take.
that's
Yeah,
probably
but-
what happened.
Yeah, but what if he doesn't play? Because I think at this
I hope
point,
he does. He's my dynasty quarterback, so he better play.
But
I
he's
don't- I
proven
don't-
he's a principled guy.
I don't think he's
he's the
gonna
kind of
sit
guy that
out.
sits out.
I don't think he could sit out a season.
Because some money is more than no money.
With
man.
Le'Veon Bell so recently in people's mind, he's
That's
seen
fair.
what
That's
happened
fair.
there.
That's
I don't
fair.
think he could sit out a whole season.
That's
Not gonna
fair,
happen.
but
He'll play.
You're right. You're
He'll
right.
play. He'll have to stay healthy, prove it, and he'll get his money next year. That's what I think happens probably.
I think you're probably correct, but I do think he is the type of person who might stand on principle.
What do you mean by that?
I think he's a young man who is very
Stubborn?
Like he's pissed. Like I think he's got a right to be. I'm going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Baltimore is treating him now from a business standpoint. I understand the injuries.
Yes.
But I don't think they've made him a legitimate offer for as good of a quarterback as he is. I just don't. So I think
Yeah,
that
but if
he's
you
got
had,
a
like,
right to be angry at Baltimore.
Your best guy on fries in the store, right? If he just like had not broke arm, but let's say he had like tennis elbow and he's just not the same anymore, and he wants to re-up. I mean, are you gonna pay him this? You put him on fries every day, pay him like the top fry guy?
But there's no reason to think that Lamar is not the same anymore.
Well, there is. What do you mean?
I think
You
he's
just
pretty
said
much
it.
the same.
He's the
No.
same. Come on, he's not. I mean, we
His
don't.
passing has fell off since his MVP year,
But not
He's
like off a
he's
cliff.
not-
Who's he been
but
throwing
he's not-
to?
wait. Let's be clear.
Who's he been throwing
From
to?
his MVP year, he's also not running the ball the same, and he's been getting hurt more. You don't see the highlights like you've seen from Lamar Jackson his first 2 years. They're gone.
Maybe he's getting.
They're
smarter.
gone.
I think
think-
there's more to the story too. I think we're missing something because I just recently saw a quote from John Harbaugh that
right.
was underneath of a captioned a picture, and it was
This kid
John
fucking sucks.
sitting in the locker room with his legs crossed, sitting back, all nonchalant, and he's like, "Yeah, he's not going anywhere."
Yeah, I think
And it
he's
was like
there.
so nonchalant, like,
Well, because
Well, he
Baltimore
just-
has played this
why
perfectly.
not? Why is he not going anywhere?
It's
Don't worry, he's not going.
it's
all
their
the leverage.
choice.
All the
Yeah.
leverage was because guess what? If Lamar decides to not play and is sitting out, Baltimore has the easiest pathway to tank. I mean, what really is in Baltimore besides Lamar Jackson? I don't think there's a whole lot,
Yeah, no,
to be
you're
honest
probably
with you.
right. And you know what? With that,
Besides your
we'll
linebacker.
put a bow on it. It's been a good show, guys.
Yeah.
That camera's about to shut off. So,
Yep.
like we said, this is Guys On Pod, Guys On Network. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook,
Guys On Pod is not
Instagram.
the
Yeah. Where is it, Guys On Pod?
It's
I
not
will
Guys
write
on
it up
Pod.
there.
It's GON Pod.
GON.
Guys on Network
Guys
Pod.
On. That's where I'm crisscrossing, huh?
GON Pod on all your social media
Give us
handles.
a break, guys. We've only been doing this for 2.5 years. It's our bad.
Mark, shut the huh?
I feel. It feels a little angry.
God.
I'm angry today.
He's mad at himself because he can't remember the name of his own
I
podcast.
am annoyed about
wanna
that.
hug?
Crying out loud.
No, I remember the podcast. It's just
wanna
one
hug?
is Guys On Network, and then there's DON Don't Touch Me. All right, so all those places, do the things, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment. We forgot to do his stupid song pick again.
Next week.
We're going to do that next week. All right, Mark has to sing a song. All right, we love you. Peace.